here, just on the drop down. We can then go into here, any of these categories. We can do the minors and some rubbish, so it shows us how many items are in a category. So this particular category's got 90,000 in the beauty and personal care category, so we can see how many items are in there. And then we can also go into any category and click best sellers, and it shows you the best sellers in any category. So if anyone wants to know what's a best seller, just go to any category, click the button, it tells you. Yep.
Are there any Chrome widgets like they are for Amazon US that populates all the items like that?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that shortly. Yeah, we are limited though in Australia at the moment, but I'll show you what we're using. So best sellers are all there. Now the best sellers do continually change every hour, because as things run out, if someone might list 100 of something, they all sell out and bingo, so that's not there anymore. And I'm going to be talking more tonight about you always want to click the out of stock button to find the hot items, because otherwise you miss these great opportunities when things sell out. So it is continually changing the best sellers every 1 hour. There it tells you that, updated hourly. So bundling rocks. And bundling, because of that buy box, if you don't want to compete for the buy box, create your own product. Sell that same item, but put something else with it, a battery, a case, whatever. And I'm going to show you how to find out exactly what to put it with the product. And now you've got yourself a whole brand new product. So bundling rocks, you can do this not just on eBay, you can do it on Amazon, you can do it on eBay as well. So Amazon shows us here, customers who bought this item also bought. That's gold. Now, we talked earlier on about MOD, minimum order dollar value. So we can go back to our suppliers and say, can we buy some of these as well? And now you can start making a bundle. So this particular item, it was a Philips item, and it said, customers who bought this Philips item also bought that Philips item. So now we know how to create bundles, and we can do the same bundling on eBay. Okay, so we can always look to see how many sellers. This particular item's got 2 other sellers on it. We can use fancy software, which we'll get to in a minute, but you can also just do it manually. It's all here. So a lot of time we can use software. You don't have to, but obviously software is designed to save time, and time, of course, is money. All right, so Amazon is powered by reviews. Don't sell anything low quality on Amazon. Amazon doesn't take prisoners. In other words, they're much tougher than eBay. If you've got something that's crap quality, don't even think about going near Amazon. Once you've got bad reviews, that product is pretty much done and dusted for you on Amazon. It's not the end of the world. You can still sell it in other places. You can sell it on eBay, you can sell it on Gumtree, you can sell it, there's auction houses you can sell this stuff on. It's not the end of the world, but it is for that particular item on Amazon. I only sell quality items. But the great thing is, you can always check the product before you buy it. So you can look at eBay reviews. So you can go to eBay, look at that particular product, click on the seller, click on their negative feedback, and scroll through their negative feedback to see if there's anything negative about that product. So a lot of people will say, well, how do I know if this product's any good before I buy it from a supplier? Well, the customers are doing all the testing for you. You go to eBay, look at the negative feedback. Is there any? Yes or no? If there is, well, you might want to walk away. And then Amazon, you can look at the feedback on any product. So again, the market's doing all the testing for us, which is just awesome. So when you read the feedback, can you improve it? If you can improve it, you've just found yourself a little gold mine. So if you read the feedback and say, the manual of this product is rubbish, that's awesome news, because you can now rewrite the manual. It's not hard to write a manual. It can be 1 page, it can be 2 pages. Someone writes and says, this is all in Chinglish or whatever, rewrite. It's a golden opportunity for you. Or they say, the packing of this is rubbish. Great, double box it. Just read the reviews, because if the seller's here and they're copying written a lot of bad reviews, fix the problem, all of a sudden you will beat them for the same price, and you will own the buy box. So bad reviews rock. Obviously, if it's something else, like it just breaks down 3 months later or something like that, that's a whole different kettle of fish. Anyway, so you sort by reviews, but bear in mind, less than 5% of buyers leave reviews. So out of 100 sales, it's only going to likely have 5 reviews. Out of 20 sales, it's only likely to have 1. So just be a bit wary of reviews unless it's had a lot of sales, because only, same as eBay, less than 5% of buyers leave reviews. So narrowing this all down, only focus on listings with few competitors and they've got less than 400 reviews. And the reason for that is because if you look at an item that's got 20,000 reviews and they own the buy box, it's going to be very, very hard for you to get that buy box. If you've got the same price and everything else is equal, it's going to be very, very hard to beat that competitor. So we, as a general, never look at 400 to 500 reviews max. Search non-optimized listings. I'll just show you more about that in a second. We call it the rule of 7s, where we look at 7 different individual pointers. I'll go through those in a minute. We look at poor reviews, poor photos. With Amazon, you're allowed 1,001 pixels. With eBay, you can have a minimum of 500 pixels. But eBay, of course, recommends 1,600 pixels on the longer side. With Amazon, you have to have a pure white background. So if someone's got a pink background, it's not allowed. So it's got to be pure white, 1,001, and you want to have at least 5 photos. Also, bullet points, we'll get to shortly, but you want to have on Amazon 5 bullet points. Poor ad copy, can you improve the ad copy? So many people don't write ad copy. Every single item you sell, whether it's on eBay, Amazon, your own website, must have an elevator pitch. It has to have a short story. For instance, this item here, what the hell is it? People just put it up there and they assume everybody knows, and they don't. It's again the curse of knowledge. You must write it for a 10-year-old what it is. This is a Logitech laser pointer with an LCD display, works with PowerPoint, blah, 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 and you give a short, it's only like something this big, but it must be from the ground floor to the 10th floor. You've got to explain what on earth this thing is. No matter what you sell, you must have a story. Absolutely every product has to have a story. Amazing how many sellers don't do it though. So you can improve the product from reviews, talked about that. Is there any other FBA sellers, yes or no? Because we've talked about the power of that. Now, someone at the back asked about what software can we use. Now in Australia we are limited, but we do have a very good package available now, which is eGrow. For our US, UK, Canadian operations, we use Jungle Scout because we've just been using it for so long, but Jungle Scout does not work in Australia yet. It's supposed to be coming. Now, eGrow has got this great, just like Jungle Scout and many of these other products, it's got a rating out of 5, and anything with a low rating is an opportunity. So eGrow looks to see how many photos has it got, how many characters are in the title. So with eBay we can have 80 characters in the title. With Amazon we can have over 200, but that's bad because it confuses the search engine. So on Amazon you want to have around 80 in the title. It looks to see how many characters in the title. Maybe someone's only got 20, maybe they've got 200. Either way that's bad, so it penalises it for you. Are there other sellers in the FBA warehouse, yes or no? At the end of the day, it calculates all this stuff and gives you a rating. So you can just flick down and find items with low ratings, it's all done for you. Yep.
You're paying for that?
Sorry?
Are you paying?
Yeah, it's a paid subscription, and I can't remember what we paid. Does anyone know? It's just another bill. It's not a huge amount. I just don't know what it is. I should know the top of it.
Around $200 for the year.
What is it? Sorry?
Around $200 for the whole year.
$200 a year. Okay, all right. So about $30 a month, sort of thing. Okay. Yep.
How accurate do they find it to be?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. We haven't seen any dramatic errors on it. It certainly saves a lot of time because for the first probably 8 months when Amazon first opened up Australia, maybe a bit more, we had no software at all, and I got to see how much time we were burning trying to find products, which was just huge. Then we put this in and it's saved us a huge amount of time. A lot of this software, by the way, is plugins for Google Chrome, or call them extensions, so you can look up items on Amazon and it'll automatically give you all the details through a plugin at the top of your Google Chrome. Okay, so a lot of people want to find items where there's no competition at all, and there's downsides of that. If you've got no competition, you can't look at any reviews, you can't look at how well the item sells, you can't calculate velocity, etc. So for us, some competition is good. We much prefer items with competition. Otherwise, it's just a gamble. You just don't know. We've over the last years, I've been importing now for over 30 years. We've had some crackers, but we've also taken a bath on a lot of other products as well. Things that we thought would do really well don't. Some things that exceed our expectations. So now we just don't guess it. So 1 in 20 of the items that we guess, but we're using 30 odd years of data of history of skill sets to think that an item is going to do well. So I'm just saying at the beginning, you don't really want to go there unless you really know what you're doing. So Jungle Scout is the most popular one I think in the planet. But again, it's not available yet, but it's going to be available supposedly shortly, but they said that 6 months ago as well. Jungle Scout, as I say, items do not need to be the best sellers to sell 10 plus per day. You correlate sales rank with the number of sales per day. So it looks at the ranking and it correlates to work out how many items will sell in one day based on how many items are listed. You can enter the rank and it'll also estimate sales for any item in any category. Now, another great tip to find products is, because remember at the beginning I said everyone just focuses on the top products. Now, the way to find the not so top products, if you go into, say, the toy section, it says featured brands on Amazon. So Crayola, Nerf, these are the most popular brands currently on Amazon. But down the bottom here it says see more. And if you click that, bingo, now you've got all these other brand names. And if you want to get into wholesaling, there's a whole stack of opportunities because most people are just focusing here. But if you click on see more, bang, now you've got all this other stuff which you can focus on. I don't know what you're looking at, Lincoln, but I won't say it. Anyway, so it's a great way of finding other products, categories. Also, there's a link here, Amazon movers and shakers, so you can see what the up and coming is, what's the hot stuff, what's moving, what's growing fast. And for the people who just came in late in the room, these slides will be available so you don't have to write all these URLs down. Also take into account other bricks and mortar stores to tell us what's popular. So we don't have to just use all these tools of Amazon. We can go to many more websites these days that are dynamic, like Kmart, for instance, has got popular. Kmart's now showing us their hottest selling products. That's gold. You couldn't get that information before. It's really hard to know. Companies weren't going to give out that information about their hottest selling products. Now it's there for everyone to see. So there's many sites have got popular. It's their top selling items. Take that information and you can take it onto Amazon and eBay. Pinterest is another great source of finding hot products. You can put in there, replace this, hot whatever, hot heart rate monitor, hot heart rate monitor reviews, best heart rate monitor 2018, and it will show you all the popular things that come up that everyone is searching for. Because if we know what the market's searching for, we can supply it. Now, you can also do the same thing in Google. You can go to Google and just type those words in, it'll auto-suggest and tell you the other popular keywords. You can also use some software called Merchant Words, which is for Amazon, and it shows you the most popular words for Amazon, so it'll automatically fill in the rest. I'll get to Merchant Words shortly. So once we've done that, we move. Yep.
Is it Barry?
Sorry?
It's Neil. Sorry. I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because Amazon is big in America,
mm-hmm.
so when you do research product, do you actually believe the US market or
No.
in Australia?
No, we only look at the Australian market.
So they will maybe eBay .com.
Generally, the Australian market, Australians buy the same stuff as the US, Canada, Ireland, UK, and South Africa, except for the obvious things that might stand out that's different, like Canada buys a lot of maple stuff for the ice hockey teams, etc. The UK buys a lot of football stuff. So besides the obvious standout things, we do generally tend to buy the same stuff, but we don't mix and match data. If we're looking at the US operation, we only look at US sales. So validation phase, we look at the current velocity of any item. We look at how much competition does it have. Is there other competition on FBA? Is it gated? Now, if it is, don't rule it out, because sometimes in internet marketing, just like most businesses, every time you go through a hurdle, you leave more of your competition behind. So the competition at the beginning all wants to sell iPhone cases. So every step you move away from iPhone cases, you've left more of your competition behind. So if you have to go and get yourself approval to sell certain product, like wooden products or whatever you want to do it, because you're just going to leave more competition behind. So everything that's a roadblock, get through it. You just leave more competition behind. That's why I love expensive items, I love wooden items, I love big items.
Have you had to do that quite a bit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you have.
yeah, a lot. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. Yeah. Restricted brands, yeah, don't rule them out. So now with restricted brands, just here's a few of the ones that are called gated from Amazon. Now, don't freak out that you got to go and research all this, because you don't. I'll show you a simple way to get around it. There's so many of these things. Here's the list. You can do it down, because all these are hyperlinks. Every time you click on one, it takes you deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Instead of doing all that, what we do is we just try and list the item. And we just do a rough as guts listing. Don't make fancy photos or anything, just try and list it. If you can get 95% of the way through the listing process, all good. If it comes back and says, no, that's gated or restricted or whatever, you know, you can't do it. So this is a much quicker way than trying to figure out what's gated and what's not.
So it's not like eBay with the Vero system then we get done afterwards for...
Not as much, no, you just simply can't list it at the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
You can get done for other things, like, you know, if you set up multiple accounts and try to hide it, you know, your partner to sign up for one and this and your friend, that stuff can get you done down the track.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and because Amazon is very smart, you know, they own that program called Alexa, which works out how popular all websites are on the planet. They're like Google, they've got their fingers deep in, much deeper than most people realise.
They don't want you to...
I sell automotive electronics.
Yes.
And when we were first accepted, they accepted our application and asked us to start listing. And then we found out that it's one of the restricted. Then when I checked on Amazon, I found all the competitors already selling, but I couldn't find under what category. So I contacted Amazon and they said, you can just find a way now to list
Yeah.
until we
Approve it.
yeah, and until now I think it's still restricted.
Yeah.
But there are like hundreds of sellers.
Yeah, because what they're doing, you probably know this, but what they're doing is they're just going to each niche. So they're going like into the coffee industry, and so all the coffee machines, and they're doing that. So they're getting everybody in with coffee machines, and they'll promote it. Then they go the next niche, the next niche, the next niche, and then there'll be the motor parts, and that's how they're growing it out, just by focusing on one niche at a time.
Is that because they want to get the foothold themselves selling it and then keep you at base?
I think the goal at the moment is just to get more turnover in Amazon Australia, just put a bigger mark on put a bigger footprint in Australia.
Yeah, they're probably not quite happy with it, the way it's progressed. So.
Well, yeah, it hasn't gone as fast, I don't think, as they expected to. But
you know how with that 10% GST, they stopped shipping stuff from Amazon USA to Australia.
Yeah.
And they were saying that the reason why it was because of 10%, but actually it was just because they wanted to grow. Really, that was just a bit of a furphy to.
yeah, and then they've gone back now, and they've now allowed it. So what's your name?
Billy.
So what Billy is saying is that Amazon stopped restricted sales, restricted us all from buying from the US through Amazon.com.au, and then recently they've now allowed us to go and buy from Amazon.com.au. Everyone's got their own. My personal feeling is that they did it because it just means that you can get Amazon.com.au and buy anything you want, where before you couldn't buy whatever you want because there weren't enough sellers applying those products. So it just opened up a bigger marketplace.
Yeah, but there's just so much more on Amazon US.
There is, totally. Of course there is. Yeah, we're only a piddly population of 23 million. Yep.
If you're trying to sell a product like a medical product or something that's heavily gated, is that difficult to start up on?
Well, it's not impossible, but it's worthwhile doing it, because again, every time you do something like that, you leave your competition behind.
Do you go through a certification process, or
Yeah.
so you have to apply?
You do. Dots, T's, all that kind of stuff. All right, so see if any warnings come up. Now, and a lot of people make this mistake. Just because other sellers are selling it does not mean it does not require authorization. So I've seen this happen many times before, where people will see something is being sold, then they'll go and order it from China or Malaysia, Vietnam, or wherever, and they arrive, then they list it, and bingo, they find it's gated. So always check it before you order anything from overseas. Okay, so top 5% strategy is another popular strategy, but what that means is just only sell stuff that's selling in the top 5% of Amazon. And it's not hard to do it. Basically, like I said before, you go into any category, you can see exactly how many items, but always do the out of stock. This is so important. If you don't do that, you miss out on some absolute golden opportunities. I'm always at my staff. They continually don't click it, and we're at them all the time because we found some amazing opportunities by clicking this. Because for instance, this item, this could be selling like hotcakes, but the supplier runs out of stock. Now, if you don't click the out of stock function, you don't see it. So if you want to find a hot selling item, you want to know this item because it's sold, hundreds, thousands, it might have sold 100 a day. But if you don't click the out of stock button, you do not see it. All you see is the stuff that hasn't sold out.